Alright, so next we'll go to the ground. So let's go check it out. Go ahead and save that. We'll bring in the ground and we'll go ahead and bring in the grass. And in the ground, it looks like green, just it's a little too lime, too yellow, and grass is a little too green. So we need to find somewhere in the middle. And we may want to make different variations of green on there. Well, let's go in and tweak that. We'll go in here and zoom in. And so we have the dirt. And we have the grass. So we'll leave the grass above everything. Mess with this a little bit. Get a little bit more green. And looks like we need to sharpen that a little bit. It makes it look a little blurry, actually. So let's just take that one off. And so it looks like we have two here, and that one was covering up the seam. So it would be good to have this, except let's just not have so much gray in the middle, which is kind of blurring the details. So we just want a little bit. And that's kind of blurring it as well. Let's pick a harder brush. Maybe that one. It's hard to even see that seam anyways. So that looks pretty good. So let's just go and check this out really quick. And also, before I forget, we need to make a specular for the ground. And we want to hide that. And we can just use this. Control Shift copy and then Control paste. And we'll go ahead and duplicate this. We'll use hue and saturation, bring that down. And we'll use levels. So that looks, it's alright. Try that out. And we'll save this as ground specular, 24-bit. And you can go ahead and take this and quickly throw it on a normal map. And we'll go ahead and desaturate it and levels it. Try to just get what we want. And we will blur it. And we'll run the NVIDIA tool again. We'll run on that. I'm going to sharpen this. That looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and take out the blue and overlay it. Same thing with this. Zoom in a little bit. And let's add this back ever so gently. We'll say this is a normal map. And let's bring these in. Bring in the spec. Professional alpha defer. Now let's go to the material. Alright, so you can see the bump added some. Grass looks better. And maybe we can just add a little bit of, maybe a little grunge in there, close to where the rocks are. And that's pretty much it, I think. I'm thinking maybe increase a large normal map a little bit, but we have a little mistake right here we can fix. So let's go check it out. So yeah, we have grass over here. which we didn't want. Let's go in the grass and just remove it. And make sure this is leveled. And also we're going to add a little bit of grunge. Let's see what we can find. We can grab maybe that one, maybe that one, and maybe that one. Let's just see. Just drag this over here and get it out the way. Alright. So we'll try this one first. Pretty large. And we'll levels this out a little bit, so we're just getting the darks. And tone down the saturation a little bit. I do kind of like the browns. Not too much. So that kind of helped. I like how that's reacting. This other one, I don't really think it's going to do much. And this one, we could try real quick. Levels it some. And we could just we'll clone it and then put it into place. It's coming out right there. Might be interesting. Just fill with black and paint something in. Alright. And we'll go ahead and copy it over to the back. Flip it horizontal. Horizontal. Rotate. And just get rid of that seam. It's making it overall kind of dark, but let's just try this, see what it looks like. So we'll go check it out. Alright. I like that. Let's look at it at a distance. Yeah, looks a lot better. Let me check out the grass real quick. See if it needs to be sharpened. Maybe a little. I'll go ahead and sharpen these. That helps. So now you can mess with the rock and the brick some, and then move on to the grass. Over here, we'll see this texture just doesn't look great, and it's a little bit too dark. So let's go ahead and brighten it up a little. You delete these, put these in a group. So let's make another layer, and we'll do the color dodge and multiply. We'll pick a lightish gray and make sure it's a solid black. And it's not really doing much because something's on the top of it. So let's drag these up here maybe. Something is still kind of overpowering it, so let's see if I drag it up here. So we may want to drag it all the way up past the ambient occlusion. And let's just delete that. Make it a little bit darker. And that works. And you can use the brackets once again to highlight some of the stuff. and just hit X to switch to the black. Just switching back and forth. And we have some grass here on this rebar. Let's get rid of that. And we'll kind of brighten it up a little bit. It's a little red. It's hard to see. So we may need to go fix that as well. And there's also grass all over this. So we just need to mask some of that out. Alright. So let's go back to the color dodge and outline some of this concrete. Maybe even outline some of this dirt in some places. Then we go to the multiply, and we're going to change that to white to get rid of it, and maybe a little bit darker. And we can do the same thing, but you just want to accentuate the details by giving them more contrast. And this one needs some highlights. Now this rebar, to figure out where its color is at. I think it's getting it from this. Set a hue and saturation. Take some of the red down a little bit. So go back up to the color dodge. Alright. So let's check this out. You see, it helps make that stuff pop a little bit better. Still wish it was a little less grainy on those bricks. So we'll back out and take that out, and then we'll go mess with the grass a little bit. Alright, so let's go remove a little bit of grain from those bricks. So if we go back to the concrete, we'll see there's a lot of layers. So we may need, that one looks alright. So I'll just mask, I'll mask this one out a little bit. So there's a seam there. One thing, we could just use a rubber stamp, find a cleaner area, and just use over here. Just kind of fill it in, and then just mask this out. It's still pretty grainy. It looks like there's some grunge overlapping there that's making it dark. So instead of finding it, I'll just put it on the folder. Looks like it's all over. So let's next thing, have that hidden. All right. And they're showing up pretty nice now, but that one's a little bright. And it needs a little bit of contact grunge where it contacts the actual ground. But other than that, looks pretty good. So we just took it away. Now we need to add it back. You never know until you see it in the game. That's why it's so important to iterate. And also it's hard to tell which brick this is, but it does need to be a little bit darker, that whole brick. And also that one. And it is kind of hard to, without going into max. So if I was to guess, so it may be this one. See if that did anything. It looks like I got it. Still needs to be a little bit darker. So which one is it? Maybe that one. Let's just see real quick. It's hard to tell, but if we do go in Mac, it can be a lot easier. Just had to unwrap, select one of those faces, and it's that one. Go down to the ground. So it's that one and that one. That one and that one. So let's undo what we did there. And we'll put it over here. Make it a little bit darker. All right. All right, that helped. Maybe we'd want a little there, but looks pretty good for now. Let's jump to the grass.